Very good morning, students. Today I am going to teach you most important chapter, that is people as a resource, for the class 9 students. You know, in your previous classes you know about the resources, that the different kinds of the resources are there, either natural resources, man-made resources, or human resources. So previous class we got the idea about the resources and different types and classification. Now today which chapter I am going to teach you, that is the human resource, which is otherwise known as the people as a resource. People are the most important resource for the nation. People can bring the development, people can bring the prosperity for the nation. So, as you know, the gross national product, which measures the value of the human resources, whatever the people can prepare, which helps for the development of the nation. So this is, they can bring the gross national product for the nation. They can bring the prosperity and development for the nation. So, most important thing is that investment in human capital. Human capital development is most important for each and every nation. Without the human resource development, no person can develop, no country comes to the stage of prosperity and development. So, this investment in the human capital comes under the three different things. Number one, spending on health and education. Each and every country compelled to bring the development by spending on health and education. These are the two most important. Spending on health and education. Number two, training on industrial and agricultural workers. Industrial and agricultural workers training, which helps to develop the skill, develop the prosperity, develop the different ideas of the different people. So, which helps to bring the more production on that particular areas. Number three, providing scientific research and so on. The different period of time, scientific research institutions, they are providing the different kinds of the things, they are appointing the different persons, so which helps to bring development on that particular field, either agriculture, either industry, or whatever may be. So, investment in the education and health is most important, and these are the two important factors which helps to bring the development. Then come to the most important thing, economic activities by the women and men. Human resources, either men or female. So, economic activities are those activities which helps the people to earn the income. Different kinds of the activities which helps the people to bring the money, to earn the money, that is called the economic activities. And the other part, which is known as the non-economic activities, which is not related with any of the income. People are not earning anything by depending on it. Okay, that is the non-economic activities. So, based on the economic and non-economic activities, it is categorized into the different sectors. This human capital, they utilize the time in the different sectors. So, primary, secondary, and tertiary sector. As I told you, primary sector is that sector by using the natural resources, they started to earn their income. That is called the primary sector, like agriculture and allied activities. Most of the people living in the rural area, they are depending on the primary sector activities. They are engaged in the primary sector activities. Secondary sector activities, which includes construction and building. Industrial sector, construction, building is the most important. Okay, that is called the secondary sector. So, after primary, secondary, the third one, which is the remaining part, which is called the tertiary sector, which is known as the service sector. Banking, administration, police, road, all the things are comes under the tertiary sector. The percentage of the people depend on the tertiary sector is more than the primary and secondary sector. People engage themselves in this tertiary sector more at present. Now come to the quality of the population. to bring the quality of the people, it is necessary to develop education and health. My dear students, if you compare the education scenario of India right after the independence, the education policy was not so developed. The literacy level was only 18% in the year 1951. But at present, if you compare right after the 2000, so the education policy reaching around the 74 to 75% of the literacy level due to development of the education, due to brings the new system of the education, and due to varieties of the systems are changed in our society, and Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan is one among them. So under it, free and compulsory education was provided. Under it, each and every village area, schools are developed, teachers are appointed, and proper education system changed. Our academic session also developed in a better way, which helps to bring the literacy level up. Then health. Health is wealth. The education, rather than that education, health is also one of the most important determinant for bringing the quality education in our country. So health workers are appointed. Modern methods and new scientific development in the research activities as well as in our health facilities are developed. So specialist doctors are appointed in the different districts. Even dispensaries, hospitals are open in the village areas, and almost all these development and scientific methods helps to bring the new development in our health system. So these are the two most important things which can bring the quality education in our society. So quality education helps to bring the people healthy, wealthy, which helps to people to do the work in a better way. If a person is uneducated, if a person is not healthy, he is unable to do the work properly. And rather than this health and wealth, if a person is educated, his thinking capability, everything is better than the uneducated people. So education is most important. Health is also another most important for the quality population for each and every nation. Then come to the next one, unemployment. As you know, rather than this population growth, India is the second populated country, unemployment is one of the most important problem for the country. Due to development of the education, people are not able to get the work. Unemployment is a situation in which a person is fit, a person having the education, experience, but not able to get the job, not able to get the work. That is the unemployment situation. Mostly in our country, there are the different kinds of unemployments are there. Either rural unemployment or urban unemployment. It is bad for the nation. So, in your sector, different kinds of the unemployments are there. Let me discuss about the first rural unemployment. There are the two most important rural unemployment takes place. That is seasonal unemployment and disguised unemployment. Seasonal unemployment. People in the rural area mostly depends on the agriculture. During the time of the agriculture, they are engaged right after the Rabi and Kharif crop. Whenever there is no agricultural season, they are remaining unemployed. They are only employed for a particular period of time, especially for the Rabi crop and Kharif crop. Right after this Rabi crop and Kharif crop, they are remaining unemployed. They are called the seasonal unemployment. Then disguised unemployment, which is otherwise known as the hidden unemployment. So, hidden unemployment or disguised unemployment is a situation in which instead of the required labor force, more laborers are employed. These more laborers, the excess laborers are known as the disguised unemployed. So, the work for this excess laborers are nil. those people, instead of the 5 labor, they are engaged with the 7 labor. These two surplus labors are known as the disguised unemployment. Their productivity is nil. So how many quantities of the food grains produced by the 5 labors? 7 labors also produce the same. So there is no more production increases. So these two excess labor force productivity is nil. That is called the disguised unemployment. Then educated unemployment due to development of the education. So from the matriculation to, if you compare the postgraduate, the number of the postgraduate educated people are more than the matriculate. So according to their education, they are not getting their job. So that is the one of the most important problem to experience in the urban area as well as the rural area. But mostly rural area, seasonal and disguised unemployment is common. And this educated unemployed people, they are not able to get according to their qualification. That's why they are remaining unemployed. They are not ready to work lower level works, not according to their qualification. That is the mostly happens in the urban areas. So that's all about this people as a resource. So people are the most important for the nation, and they can bring the prosperity, they can bring the development, and because of that health and education, the quality education is possible. That's all about this chapter. So rather than this topic of this chapter, let me tell you one story. My dear students, you know, most of the village people, they depends on the agriculture. So you can take one imaginary village like your previous chapter, Palampur. I can take the one example of one village, that is Palampur. Palampur people mostly sending their children. They don't have the school, that's why they are sending their children to the nearby schools. So that is Panchayat, Gram Panchayat is there. In this Panchayat, they are sending their children to the nearby. So there is no communication, there is no transportation, nothing. So people are working for 3-4 kilometers, they are going for study. So one big farmer, he thought that rather than sending the children or not sending their children for the higher education, better to send for the agricultural education, agricultural college, which is located nearby village. So he started to send his children to the agricultural college. So that student completed his study. He came to the village. So he came to know that most of the village people depends on the agriculture. So he started to bring some new development, new research, new activities which helps the people to produce more quantities of the food grains in agricultural field. So slowly the student who completed agriculture study from the agriculture college, he appointed as a agricultural engineer on that Panchayat, Palampur. So, which help the people to bring some new ideas, to bring some new methods of the cultivation in the field of agriculture, which helps to produce more quantities of the food grains. So definitely they started to earn more profit. So one day they decided to open one school in this Palampur village. So they approached towards the Panchayat, and Panchayat, after taking the permission from the government, and started one school, primary school. So some of the teachers appointed from that nearby village. So people, instead of going to the nearby village, they are ready to take the admission and came regularly, and in case of any problem they share with their parents, although that school is located in their own location, in their own village. So at the same time, in due course of time, one tailor who was working in his own village of Palampur, he also approached the school authority to give the tailoring courses, to give the tailoring idea to the students of that school, and he also appointed, people also motivated, and most of the people, those who are going outside for purchasing the uniform, purchasing the different dresses, so they started to produce the same product in their own home. They got the idea, and that tailor fulfilled the needs of the wearing the dresses, purchasing the dresses of the village people. So you see, in one way they saved the time. Instead of going to the village to purchase the clothes, they got the dresses at their own place. So the remaining time mostly they spend on agriculture, which helps to produce the more quantities of the food grains. Okay, so in this way you see this education, which helps to give the new idea. By using that idea, they started to earn the more money. So in this way, this village moved towards the prosperity, and this was the beginning of the prosperity. The farmer had more than what they could consume. They started the profit. They started on the profit. They produce more after fulfilling the minimum requirement of their things. After fulfilling the fooding all the things, they can able to fulfill the needs of the rest of the village people by providing the food grains. So this is the one of the most important thing that you can fulfill, and at the same time you are trying to fulfill the needs of the other people. So that's all about this chapter. People as a resource. People are the most important for the nation. Thank you.